Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow from Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Most exciting man in boxing. Exciting man in boxing. Led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellow Sports TV.
What it is, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Melon here, man. 122 pounder, 10-5, man. Watching Goodfellow Sports TV, bro.
Hey, qué rollo. Quiero mandar un saludo a mi amigo Goodfella de parte de tu amigo Jaime Munguía. Un abrazo, carnal. Ánimo.
Hey, this is the 989 Assassin, Jermaine Franklin Jr. Shout out to Goodfellow TV.
Tiger Johnson from Cleveland, Ohio, 140, and you're watching Goodfellow TV.
Shout out to my friends from Goodfellow TV, from Alexis Too Sexy Salazar.
All right, man, we back in the game. Appreciate y'all for tapping in here for a good time, not a long time. Hit the link in the description. You can literally find me everywhere from X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, the whole shebang. So, yeah, let's talk, man. We're going to talk about Bud saying that he may return back to 154 pounds. We also going to talk about Vergil Ortiz and Oscar De La Hoya playing duck games. You got Mexicans in my comments. So he tried to fight Crawford. That motherfucker ducked Crawford twice. Get out of here. Vergil Ortiz is one of the biggest ducks in the sport of boxing, bro, and nobody talks about it. He lost his last two fights. De La Hoya talking about he deserve a homecoming fight. How a motherfucker who never won a world title, never competed for a world title, deserve anything in the sport of boxing? This nigga been a prospect / contender for the last 10 years almost. He deserve a tune-up, man, please. We're going to talk about Benavidez and end off the show. So I appreciate y'all, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. But let's talk about it, man. So yeah, Bud, I kind of seen it. He had a give me 1 minute. Bud had an interview on the Ring magazine. I'm gonna subscribe to their digital. I want the hard copy, no Diddy. I might have to get the hard copy of the Ring magazine or whatever, man. But other than that, ain't too much going on in boxing, man. You know, I think you got Boots fighting in a couple weeks. I think this week you got Brian Norman Jr. Getting his first title defense this week. So I know a lot of people will be on alert for that. So it ain't really pretty much too much to be going on in the sport of boxing. Keyshawn and Edwin De Los Santos agreed to fight June 7th. De Los Santos hadn't fought since he fought Shakur Stevenson November 2023. I heard Triple G helped get boxing back in the Olympics. I don't care. Boxing in the Olympics been corrupt. And, for the most part, it's always niggas been, getting fucked over out of titles. or out of gold medals. And then also you got to ask yourself, for a country that disrespects black people, why should we continue to represent them? And don't give me that represent people in Africa. Them over in Africa, they be on that bullshit too. They causing more division than the white man causing for us right now in America. And that's a fact. And I know a lot of people they ain't really hip. A lot of this, black on black hate, or we hate black women and black men, that's coming from them African people of African descent that come over here. They ain't all bad, but it's a lot of them bleach, selling bleach cutters, skin bleach cream and all that stuff, and indoctrinating men and women over here to hate each other. I'm like, dang, y'all come over from that country, y'all got a lot of hate for us. But then again, hey, their ancestors sold us into slavery, a lot of them, and enslaved us. So what do you expect? The genetics are there. So Crawford open to come back down. Now, Crawford been getting a lot of flack. Like I said, if you want to support the channel, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. Join the Patreon. Shout out to everybody that's joined the Patreon. Come on, we need more members. I'll go live on there once we get more members. I'm not doing a great job promoting either, but hey, hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. Appreciate y'all, right? So yeah, he been getting a lot of backlash. He said he on some Henry Armstrong stuff. They had a problem with that. And I'm starting to believe that PBC is, putting people on their payroll, paying these media members or granting them access to slander Bud name. And they slander Keyshawn name on Boxing News 24 and Boxing 24/7. They do the same thing over there. That's a fact. They do the same thing over there, slandering black people names over there. And like I said before, they only really keep that energy. They only really keep for non-black fighters. Only time they really keep that energy for them is when they going up against Benavidez pushing for Canelo or something like that. That's the only time you really see, you see them pushing or showing vitriol for them. And that's honestly, it's the God honest truth. But it is what it is. And anything he say, people want to take it and flip it in a bad way. I'm like, damn. And, honestly, a lot of black content creators got a lot of hatred and vitriol for Bud over Errol Spence. Like, dog, y'all, I just really don't really understand. And these the same people that want to point out racism or point out different things in the black community, but y'all hated on the black man more than y'all hated on steroid users. Y'all gave racists a pass, but Bud couldn't get, his flowers when he deserved. And these be the very same people when Bud get up out of here and choose to retire, and he retired, they be the same people that's coming to, celebrate Bud. Oh yeah, he was a great. No, y'all was hating on him. It's one thing to be critical about somebody. It's one thing to say something about a particular dude and have a critique about it. That's cool. But y'all go out y'all way to destroy old buddy. Y'all go out y'all way to speak bad on him. Talk about the man family. He would buy. Well, what about Al Heyman? He just robbed Terrell Goucher live on TV, a black man. Al Heyman been taking the white man's money and funding his shit all the time. So, ultimately, people need to keep it a bean on this type of stuff. If you hate yourself, shoot, I don't really care. But a lot of these dudes that's barking this shit about him on the internet, they would not be barking this shit in person. I'm telling you. But he says a lot of great fighters out there at 154. Crawford told the Ring during an extensive exclusive interview. I don't want to disrespect any of the fighters just by saying one or the other is the best in the division. If they ever fought, the winner would be the best because styles make fights. Maybe it would be possible showdown for Terence Crawford and the winner. And I hate when like motherfuckers get political answers. Like, everybody's so politically correct. It's disgusting now. It really is. We all know this motherfucker ain't coming back down to fight these guys. Everybody is so politically correct these days. Nobody can just be like, well, I just think he the best. And then if you say he the best, then somebody get mad. I'm offended. Everybody get offended by everything. Even people get offended by people's preferences. I enjoy Domino's over Pizza Hut. They ready to start a Twitter war, cancel you on X for you liking Domino's over Pizza Hut. Like, having your preferences is now you being condemned on it in the world for having your preferences. Like, you should be able to pick somebody and give your reasons why not you picking that guy you think he the best. So that's my problem with it, bro. Like, everybody just too politically correct. It used to be at one point a bra can just take her bra off and let her titties just rest. Dude can just take his drawers off and let his balls hang. You feel me? Now all of a sudden, dude, you can't just be a man. You can't just be a woman. You can't even be a human no more. And that's part of that participation trophy award era. That's exactly what it is. They talking about protect the children. Watch what we say around the children. And my thing is this: these children worse than ever. But, so he says that means Fandor, Mazaliev, Ortiz should get busy facing each other and begin a process of elimination in order to get Crawford's attention. Ortiz's team turned down the fight against Mazaliev last week. And once again, we know Turkey Al-Sheikh was trying to fund that fight. And we know, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, Vergil Ortiz is a buster. I've been telling y'all. This buster, or depending on what size of the pendulum in LA, on this cluster, has been ducking for a long time. And then he claimed he don't know nothing about it. This dude about to be a 10-year-old prospect / contender and ain't fought for a world title yet. But yeah, y'all talking about Boots. Boots fighting for a second world title. This dude ain't got one. And it's a situation where Mazaliev trying to fight him, which I'm going to talk about shortly. And he talking about, nah, I want to go do a tune-up. Tune these nuts up, dude. Vergil Ortiz is one of them fighters, man. He's a pussy, bro. Let's keep it a being. He's a whole pussy. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other things alleged about him where if he was a nigga and Blair Cobb made those comments about him being on steroids, people would be feeding into it. You see how the brothers don't even be going hard on the others. They didn't butt broke Tukun the superstar. They didn't butt broke Garfield the coke sniffing cat. You know what I'm saying? Them ninjas would be like Uncle Ruckus when he got his DNA test and he told him that he didn't have no revitiligo. He's a nigga. They'll bust out crying just like Uncle Ruckus did, ready to send themselves to the upper room. Remember, BET had to stop Uncle Ruckus from sending himself to the upper room? That's exactly what happened. Niggas is busters. But he said if the opportunity presents itself, it's a great opportunity for me in my career, then we will do it. We will have to do to make the fight with the winner, said Crawford. But who knows where I'll go after Canelo retirement. Maybe we'll do a rematch or I'll fight someone else. Right now, I'm just mentally focused on Canelo, getting my mind and body right, and just mentally preparing myself for everything that I have to do to get the victory. To become a 4-weight undisputed champion is crazy. 4. Is it 4? He won at 40. This would be 3. So this would be 3. It won't be 4, nigga. I mean 2. I think he meant a 4-weight class champion in general. Did I say undisputed? Yeah, he wouldn't be undisputed. We have to wait. We on some TO shit in this comment. So it'll be a 4-division world title holder, 2-time undisputed in 2 different weight classes. If he was to go down to 54, it'd be 3. It wouldn't be 4. We have this dude on some TO shit right now. He on some TO shit. But we have to wait it out. Wow. Yeah, I think the interviewer made a mistake. You think so? We have to wait it out. Weigh it out. And see what happens after this fight. Maybe he did mean weigh it out. I don't know. With Alvarez, none of these other fights do anything for my career. If I beat Fandor, Ortiz, and Mazaliev, I'm supposed to beat those guys. But me fighting Canelo, I'm not supposed to beat Canelo in a lot of people's eyes. That's a career-defining fight. That's a legacy fight. That's the biggest fight at the time. And it's the most fight for his pockets. It's simple as that. It's the most fights where he's fighting for money. You know, this is his cash out. I think he deserves that. And people got a problem with him. Well, he don't deserve this fight. He don't deserve that fight. He don't deserve, Canelo last 10 opponents, you can make an argument didn't deserve a particular fight. Let's keep it a bean. But, when it's somebody like Berlanga, Munguia, y'all don't talk about who deserve it or not. It's because people think Terence Crawford's a real threat. Now, obviously, he did try to go for undisputed at 154 pounds, but we seen what happened. Fandora, used Spence as his fake batter, this fake shield, He used Spence for a fake shield, knowing the fight wasn't going to happen. And rather than make some money versus Crawford, he'd rather sit on the pine, fight Cordell Booker, and then fight Xander Zayas in a fight nobody gives two damns in the what about. Even turning around and fighting Jermell Charlo. Charlo talking about he put a little teaser out that he coming back. Nobody cares. Don't tell us about a Charlo twin unless they go get their get back versus Caleb Plant. Like, I'm back. Like, nigga, you think because you waited a long time that this like GTA where you can hide and the police to stop chasing? No, we remember what you did. You did it for the culture. You did it for the track culture. Let's not forget that. We remember what you did. You think if I sit out a year or two, they're going to forget about my abysmal performance? No. I do it for the culture. But I mean, I don't anticipate Bud coming back down in weight, and that's just my opinion. You know, he seen what happened with Roy Jones Jr. He already about to be 38 by the time this fight started, I believe. I mean, so be it. But, you know, I mean, I don't really care for this fight. I really don't. If they do it at Allegiant Stadium, it'd be nice to go because the ticket should be affordable. It should be affordable from the simple fact of, you know, it's at a football stadium, so it should be some cheap tickets in there. But honestly, it'd just be just to go to Vegas and be around the atmosphere. I really wouldn't. If I went to Vegas, I really wouldn't even care if I seen the fight or not. Honestly, I wouldn't even care if I seen the fight or not. I'm just going for the atmosphere. I know it's about to happen. Y'all can hope and think you about to see anytime something great happens, you never anticipate it usually. You never have a large contingent of people anticipating greatness. You know what I'm saying? Nobody anticipates. It usually comes out of nowhere. He has no chance at beating Canelo. I'll tell you this. I heard Boots give him a 30% chance, and he has no chance at beating Canelo Alvarez. None. He has no chance at beating Canelo Alvarez. You know, I agree with Marquez, and I agree with people who have a logical point of view on this type of stuff. And it's just math. You think he going up 2 weight classes, ain't fought in over a year he wouldn't fight. He about to win. Dude, when you older, you got to be more active. You got to be more active when you older, bro. He just ain't been active enough to be able to beat Canelo. Canelo fighting and he not fighting. It's a money grab. Until proven otherwise, and I can walk back my comments and apologize and admit if it's not a money grab, but it's a money grab. And I'm not mad at it. He deserve it. You know, saying they're fighting Mazaliev and Ortiz and all that. If you can't get undisputed, and you couldn't, if he got Fondor, he probably going for undisputed. He had 3 belts. He fight Mazaliev. He probably do that. That probably rounds up his 2025 and end up with Canelo. But not getting Fondor and PBC stopping you. Like I said before, a black on black crime, a black man stopping a black man from reaching greatness. For Fondor, like, come on, man. That's like thinking you about to go over to Great Britain, you know, on a paper airplane. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. But, you know, let me get to the comments. Only a few of them. He said, tell Mel go to 60. Man, that dude's scary, bro. He being served up on a platter to boost up either Mazaliev or Fondor. Cyber salute. He said, you think Bud is really going back down to Boken? Could be bad for him. I mean, it happened to Roy Jones. He shouldn't have did it. The hate is deep-rooted. Bud can do no right even when he does wrong. Yeah, it's true. Lather salute all over Errol Spence. Like, get out of here, man. He better hope he don't get a Fed case put on him. Vergil turned down 3 belt opportunities. Yeah. Vergil's a whole pussy, man. I keep telling y'all that. Alex salute. Said Dame, definitely blood clot. Dame who? Damian Lillard? Damn. Hope that's my boy. Hope he get well. But yeah, let's move on. Move on. And I ain't even gonna talk about this, but look at this. Canelo doesn't give a F. Mikey says Alvarez is building $400 million enterprise, prioritize E5 big and over fans demand. Now, guess what? If my thing is this, and this is true by his actions. His actions match these words that Mikey's saying. His actions match these words. Canelo doesn't give a F. Mikey says Alvarez building a $400 million enterprise, prioritize easy fights over big paydays over fans demand. My thing is this: stop supporting it. That's my thing. Stop supporting it. I don't understand it. Why do people continue to come in and support this? Stop watching it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like some $2. Y'all like some $2 hoes, man. Stop supporting that shit, man. I really don't understand it, bro. Like, stop watching it. People still pay for it and watch it. The whole nine. He clearly got a middle finger to y'all face and don't care nothing about the sport, don't care nothing about the fans, nothing. Y'all still line up and watch that shit, man. He's a sucker. Been telling y'all about that, man. Canelo been bad for the sport. Somebody need to go back in time like Cable and stop him from boxing. Put a bullet in his head. Shit, stop that motherfucker from boxing. I said it. I sure did. Don't like that guy. He's a pussy. When they started making so many pussy-ass Mexicans, bro, them motherfuckers used to be tough. They don't make Mexican motherfuckers no more. They don't make niggas no more like they used to make them. I don't know what the hell God been doing. This nigga just playing 2K and hitting a randomized character button. They still got that on 2K. Said De La Hoya Ortiz versus Spence at Cowboy Stadium. He said promoter Oscar De La Hoya says he wants to. Let's just get to the quote. He said Vergil's coming off 2 tough fights, 2 losses in my opinion, to Sarhi Bokachuk and Israel Dreamov, which can be tough on the body as well and tough on the mind, said promoter Oscar De La Hoya. My thing about that is this. That motherfucker did take like a year off, didn't he? Didn't Vergil Ortiz take a year off? Or something like that? Come on now. This dude almost been pro for over 9 years. He turned pro in July 30th. So, it'd be 9 years coming up in July. 9 years coming in July. He got 23 fights. How tough can it be on his body? Come on. He just got an average. He got an average of 3 fights a year? Not even 3 fights a year. Like 2.5 fights a year, something like that. Get out of here. So he didn't fight at all from the second half of 2022 to 2023. He didn't fight for almost 18 months, bruh. How much rest do we need? Yeah, he had 3 fights last year. One of them was 1 round. 2 of them was 2 rounds, and he had a 12-round decision. Like, man, dude, this is a dude who has not touched a world title, brothers. Brother, he said, I'm thinking about doing a homecoming party for him in Dallas and fight a top 10 guy, then go after Fondor and go after Crawford if after he comes back down after he fights Canelo 68. He said there's a lot of options out there for Vergil. I'm excited and imagine if we can put together Vergil and Spence fight at Dallas Stadium at Cowboy Stadium, that will sell out the place. I think that's something to consider as well. There's some good options for Vergil, said Oscar De La Hoya. Now, my thing is this. This motherfucker talking about he deserve a homecoming. He ain't coming home with a belt. It ain't going to be for a belt. This dude took almost 18 months off. This dude almost took 18 months off. This dude almost took 18 months off. What do you need a break for? He been a pro going on 9 years, ain't got a world title. And you talking about when it's a champion in Bakhram Mazaliyev begging him to give him a title shot, and y'all talking about, well, we want to fight Spence. We don't even know if Spence is gonna fight again. Oh, we want to just do a top 10. That just tell you how full of shit Oscar De La Hoya is. De La Hoya was the same guy that was out here telling people, oh, we the best need to fight the best. PBC and Top Rank, we need to work together to fight the best fighter, make the best fight. He ain't even trying to make the best fights. They don't believe in Vergil Ortiz. They don't believe in Vergil. He shouldn't have won that last fight if we scoring on a boxing point system, and he didn't beat Sergey Bokachuk. They know that. This dude in the era the easiest era to get a belt in the 4-belt era, he may not get a belt. He may not get a belt. You calling out Fondor, but you don't want to fight Mazaliev. You calling out Spence, but don't want to fight Mazaliev. You calling for a tune-up, a homecoming fight? What you get a homecoming party for? What have you done to deserve a homecoming party? You ain't got a title. Dallas don't care if you come back and fight. Nobody want to see no damn Vergil Ortiz fight. Buy a small fry at McDonald's, get 4 Vergil Ortiz tickets. That motherfucker don't sell. Remember he fought in Vegas? I mean, shit. Nobody care about that. They'd rather take that money and go to In-N-Out Burger in Vegas. Nobody was going to that fight, man. De La Hoya is a third-rate promoter known for tomfoolery. They want to do everything out here. They want to do everything out here but fight Mazali and fight for a title. And really what they really want to do is wait for that WBA get up for grabs and fight for a vacant belt. These dudes be calling themselves world champions, and they don't even deserve to call themselves world champions. If you waited for a dude to drop a belt, if you ain't take a belt from a champion, you ain't no champion until you got 5 title defenses. If you got a vacant belt or you didn't beat a title holder for your belt or champion for your belt, you know what I'm saying? You ain't no champion until you fight 5 title defenses. These dudes be waiting for guys to vacate, like Gervonta Davis. Ain't nobody could keep it a bean. Gervonta Davis waited for Devin Haney to move up instead of taking the belt from him. Come on, how can you call yourself a world champion and you waited for a dude to leave to get a belt? Canelo Alvarez, we all know if David Benavidez didn't lose his belt playing with his nose or on the scale, whichever one it was, we know he wasn't even a one for undisputed at 68. Why ain't nobody calling this out? These are the faces of boxing, the top fighters of boxing who let Jake Paul kick in the door waving the fofo. Let him kick in the door waving the fofo. Take over boxing. Put these hoes on. Put them on a blade. Pimp them out. Make some money off these hoes. Y'all, they let them do that. Come in boxing. Take all the money and look at them. Ain't want to fight. Ain't want to fight nobody. They don't want to fight nobody. And look what it's done to the sport. You got champions chasing contenders. You got champions chasing contenders. Don't nobody see no problem with that? You got champions chasing contenders. Sad. You got contenders. You got contenders. Turning down champion title fights, talking about they deserve a homecoming party. Me deserve that party they was gonna throw for Dame Dash on state property. I was just saying, man, shit is sad. And there's Mexicans in my comment section on YouTube and TikTok. Well, Vergil made a dick. How about that? He went sideways. That boy pussy, and y'all know it. Y'all be trying to protect some pussy ass. That's the problem, bro. Y'all be protecting these pussy ass fighters, bro. Canelo's every man, shit, man, these niggas suckers. Everybody moving to protect their best financial interest. Guess what? It ain't gonna be no financial interest. It ain't gonna be no more finances at all. Ain't gonna be no more finances. Y'all gonna destroy this shit. And half. And Turkey Al-Sheikh is enabling, playing Ryan Garcia hoe ass. Paying Canelo to duck. I want to pay him shit. I'll tell him we can get it. I'll tell her get it from God. I tell him, get it from God. It ain't coming from me. No Diddy. That's what I be saying. Shit sad. You got champion contenders. You got champions chasing contenders. But we're clap back Thursday. Because we already know Oscar De La Hoya probably like his back clapped on Thursday, Monday, Tuesday. Probably used to let Al Heyman bust down his back too with my Pimp C voice. This dude's sad, man. For what they done to this sport is sad. De La Hoya got a lot to do with this too. De La Hoya got a lot to do with this. He got a lot to do with this. He want to always act like he ain't had nothing to do with the destruction of this sport. He had a lot to do with this, dog. A lot. He had a lot to do with this. These niggas been running from title fights to 3 divisions almost over a course of a decade. Come on, man. He worked with Canelo, who got popped for the juice. Ryan got popped for the juice. Y'all think Vergil Ortiz any different? Hell to the motherfucking no. And do all that shit up his ass allegedly and still can't win a world title. Still can't win a world title. Still can't win a world title. Lost his last 2 fights, in my opinion. I ain't hating. I'm just keeping it a bean. But then they talk about Boots. Oh, man, Boots stuck him. Like, man, what I'm going to get out of this dude? Nigga name should be Vergil no title Ortiz. 9-title fight Ortiz. Ain't going to never get a title. Watch when he get his title, they're going to email it to him. He going to be going around, I'm a champ. You ain't no, in my opinion, you ain't no champion unless you took it from the champ in this era. I want to hear it. You ain't no champ unless you took it from the champ. No Diddy. Real talk. He ain't no champ, dog. He never took a title from nobody, bro. And Boots and Sayonis fighting in the email unification, super unification. How they fighting for the lineal belt? And they both ain't never know what it took to take a title from another champion. How can you call yourself a champion if you would never took it from the champ? No Diddy. No Harvey Weinstein. No Vin Rames. No Kevin Spacey. No Bruce Jenner. How? You call yourself the champ? Come on, man. Ryan Garcia, another top Golden Boy house Mexican. Never had a title fight. Come on, man. No title Golden Boy. Shit, Oscar De La Hoya probably made him put on heels and fishnets to sign their deal. Ryan Garcia looked like he'd do that. He probably had Vergil Sr. and Vergil Jr. in high heel, pink heels and then fishnets to sign their Golden Boy contract. Vergil Ortiz ass. I don't have enough talking about him. Let's talk about the other Duxican, David Benavidez. Now this ninja, he trying to get Dimitri Bivol. He trying to get Dimitri Bivol stripped. All right, he trying to get Dimitri Bivol stripped. Now, if this was Arthur Better BF, he wouldn't be going at Better BF this hard. We know this. If this is Arthur Better BF, he wouldn't be going at Arthur Better BF this hard. He trying to get that belt off Dimitri Bivol because he don't want them to rematch and Better BF win. Better BF won the second fight. I'm telling you, I felt that Bivol won the first, so it kind of evened it out. All right, for sure. But he don't want to possibly have to fight Arthur Better BF, so he want to get that belt out of Bivol hand instead of just saying, "Hey man, let's just do the winner. Let's work out a deal. I'll fight Canelo Smith on the undercard." He didn't hit that motion for Canelo. And that's why Turkey Al-Sheikh told them to dish that WBC belt. He told Eddie Reynoso to toss that belt because they're not good for boxing. They're not good for boxing. You know what I'm saying? He fought a retired Goldsvik and a 168-pound Dave Morrell. What is that? How does that qualify him from a title fight? He should have to get in there with Canelo Smith, Buatsi, where he did just lose, or Anthony Yarde, but he won't. David Benavidez ain't no different from the other maintenance workers at PBC. He ain't no different from them. He ain't no champ. He ain't no real ninja. He ain't no throwback fighter, bro. He's somebody who gonna get beat up to. When he cross that street and meet them in that turning lane, he gonna get beat down to. Punks jump up to get beat. He ain't no different from the rest of the PBC fighters. When he read up with Al Heyman, they let you know what time it is. Outside of Al Heyman protection, he just another regular ass Mexican. That's it. He ain't nothing special about him. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all that right now. He knew that he knew that Bevel, why would Bevel sit there and make $2, $3, maybe $5 million fighting you, and I can make a guarantee fighting 10 versus better BF? Come on. So now you get the belt from him, so I call myself a world champ. Another time where he didn't take the title from somebody. I think he fought Ronald Garville for a vacant title. Garville wasn't the champion. Somebody can prove me wrong, but he fought Ronald Garville. In that fight, he didn't win that fight. He didn't beat Ronald Garville. He lost that fight. They robbed the shit out of Garville. He did win the rematch, but he didn't win the original fight. He robbed the shit out of Garville. I watched that fight. He didn't even win that fight. Right here, 2017, September 8th. When else did he get? When did he get the title? He beat Durrell. So I think he won a vacant title versus Romero, Alexis Anguilo. No, he got vacant for that fight because he missed weight. And shit, never won a title again. Was the interim champion. So yeah, he don't know what it feel like to be a champion. He going around calling himself a champion. And he ain't beat no champion. Man, I'm tired of that shit, man. So this is why having one title for each division, eliminating the junior weight class would be good. No email, no champion says best first the best. Shout out to DIL 87. Yeah, and super chat. Yeah. Too many people around here calling themselves a champion, not just off the 4 belts or the regular belts or the supers and all that, off the strength of you calling yourself a champion because of the politics. You didn't beat a champion to get a belt. How you calling yourself a world champion or a regional champion? You didn't beat the guy to get the belt. It was handed to you, and that's what he's doing. They pressing Bevel to hand them the belt. That's it. Why would I make half of what I'm gonna get versus better BF to fight you? You ain't trying to go over to Saudi Arabia and make that type of money because you could just get the winner and get paid because he know he ain't gonna beat the winner. He know if it's better BF, he getting stopped. And that's just what it is. He know it. That whole thing with Canelo probably was a joint venture. Fake beef. We really don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. I ain't one trying to fight Canelo. Because if he was, he would have pushed or made legal action versus WBC. How somebody your friend when they deny you an opportunity to feed your family? Same thing I said about Spencer Crawford. How, all of a sudden these sanctioned belt bodies, they want to order these meaningless mandatories and stop these fights we want to see, like Better BF and Bevel 3. You know what I'm saying? Or some people want to see. And then turn around and not want to make Spencer Crawford and make them negotiate. They worthless. They stop the fights you want to see however you look at it. You want to see a big fight, Better BF and Bevel 3. They stopping that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you've been to Benavidez. You need a title shot and give him a title. Okay, cool. But then when you want to see a Spencer Crawford, they don't want to get involved and make none shake. They useless. I agree 100% with Dana White. Cut these dudes. Pay. They've been stealing money for too long from the sport. They don't deserve to make none of the money that they're making. They don't deserve none. All this money that these fighters, they don't deserve it. They ain't did nothing but steal from the fans. And this ain't even on the Robin Hood type stuff. All they did was steal. Duck. They talking about the NBA players don't want to play. Boxers don't want to box. Fight once a year. Come on, man. This dude ain't nothing but another Al Heyman puppet. If you put your belief in the PBC fighter, you to get what you deserve. They all fraudulent. Javante showed it. The Charlatan brothers or the Charco brothers showed it. Errol Spence showed it. Keith Thurman showed it. Danny Garcia showed it. You know, all of them showed that they were fraudulent, except for maybe Sean Porter and Danny Garcia and Sean Porter and Arizona Lara. Deontay were proven to be fraudulent. You know, looking back at that, how do you feel like you the A side when you ain't got no money? When the other dude had 2 or 3 belts, fucked his whole career up doing that dumb stuff. But at least he did take his belt from a champion. I can't say that. And should have beat Charles Martin and became a unified champion. But there's another dude who was gifted a belt that was gift wrapped in a belt and from gift wrap from Party City in a box or a gift bag from Party City. Motherfuckers ain't no champs, bro. If you had to, if you did anything easy to become a champ, you ain't a champ. Canelo whole career, chump. Easy catchweight fight versus Ricky Hatton, brother Matthew Hatton for the title. He's a chump. When it was convenient, when he didn't want to fight the killers, he hit at 155, chump. Benavidez, chump. Didn't even win the vacant title. He lost to Garville, in my opinion, chump. That's why when they gotta rock, the best gotta fight the best, and they get in them type of fights, or they fight a certain caliber guy. You see what happened to them is what happened with Tank. They come up short, like P.E. Herman in the bedroom. No Diddy, no Harvey Weinstein, no Kevin Spacey. These dudes ain't built for adversity. They ain't built to last. They built the break. They built the break. You get handed something in life, and you know, come on, what type of message is it at? All these rich kids get handed, you know, cars and wealth, and look at the character that they are at the end of the day. That's one thing about it. Once the apocalypse come for this fucking planet, you're gonna see a lot of people who can't defend themselves. A lot of people that don't stand on nothing. They hide behind money. They hide behind junk. You gotta hide behind masculinity and your true femininity as a woman. You gotta hide behind your morality and integrity and keep your word and what type of person you is. Like I said before, it's gonna be a bad time for people who weak. People who depend on money. I tell you all that all the time. That's why laws and religion is there. Not saying that they're a bad thing, but that's why their primary creation was to protect the politicians and the wealthy away from your broke ass. In the entertainers, the wealthy and the politician appear to be, they control the entertainers and the athletes. That's why they got to bust you down before you get initiated in, where they got so much. If LeBron went straight up Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, do you know LeBron will be destroyed in 48 hours or less? When they decide to do it, they got so much dirt on LeBron James. And that's anybody in that industry. So when you be hearing people talk black or they want to be black to prove they not. They already sold their character and they sold out a long time ago. Already. I'm telling y'all, when the day come for this shit really to shake and break, the weak will not be around. The weak will not be around. Because you got to understand, when civilizations first was started, bro, the worst thing you can be in civilization was a thief. If you got caught stealing, they cut your hands off. You know what I'm saying? It was an eye for an eye. You took my son, I take your son. You take my daughter, I take your daughter. Get back to that honor system and see how much shit will fall into order. How much these just the whole athletes are not even gladiators no more. They don't even take pride. They don't even want to go to the game and play no more. Everybody want to be an entertainer. Everybody want to be a scammer. Everybody want the status. Don't nobody want to work no more. Don't nobody want to grind no more. Don't nobody want to no pain and suffering no more. Pain and suffering is what build character. That's what build character. A lot of these motherfuckers got, it's the participation trophy award. world. I mean, you go around looking China and look at all these other, man, they soft too. Over there in what China, they ain't got enough women to procreate with, bro. They man jumping off bridges and shit. Don't think this is just an epidemic in America. This is a worldwide pandemic. And like it or not, Vladimir Putin, to a certain extent, he see what's happening. He trying to stop it. But look at all the stuff that Vladimir Putin got about the history of who Black Americans is. Go dig a little bit about that. He got the answers. I watched a little documentary. He got the answers, believe it or not. And the people that they try to vilify, you got to watch the people that they, and I say this, and y'all any questions, I'll finish the comment section. The people that they try to vilify, you got to watch that. The people that they try to paint as the villains, the people that they try to paint as the biggest bad people, those are the people you need to talk to. It's kind of like how people kind of sound on the internet now that, you know, you need to talk to your people who didn't have both parents talk to your dad to see what happened. You know, I'm telling you, the people that they try to vilify throughout history, I'm telling you, they ain't that bad. Some of the heinous crimes that you may see them throwing, like they casted the rock and they might have threw the rock back, and you just say, "Oh, look what they doing! They threw the rock," but you only see them throwing the rock back. Some of the people that you see historically, they paint as these dictators or these arc racists and all that type stuff. Like I'm telling you, bro, you gotta always ask myself when I'm in situations, why? Why are these people trying to destroy these people? Why? You have to ask yourself why. I'm telling y'all, they got pictures of Bin Laden chilling with the Clintons. On my Detroit City channel, Motor City Sports Talk, I got a video talking about the day that Saddam Hussein received the key to the city of Detroit. Most people don't even know he received the key to the city of Detroit before they went over there and stole all his gold and shit out his palace. Pictures. Fun fact, it was a particular dude who just commented and said his grandfather was in the very same picture that Saddam Hussein got the key to the city of Detroit. So a lot of times when you see they vilify these enemies out of nowhere, it's just because they wasn't under their thumb no more. They couldn't control them. They like, I ain't doing that. I'm telling y'all, when you drink the devil's Kool-Aid, once you drink it, you under the control. Once you try to break free, it's just not a price that you can pay. You can't get your soul back. That's why they have these rituals where they make these celebrities do these embarrassing things behind the scenes. You won't get your dignity, your soul back. They taking your soul, your dignity, your integrity. So when you see a lot of these people that drunk from the devil's Kool-Aid and all that, they're compromised. When you sell your soul, you can't get it back. Eminem, I'm not afraid. He can make that song talking about I'm not afraid of Illuminati. Nigga, when you sold your soul, there's no trade-ins. You can't trade your daughter's soul in. You can't trade your dog's soul in. And ain't no amount of money that's gonna get you through that. And I always tell y'all, like, it's kind of seemed like, I know a lot of y'all young dudes, a few of y'all who listening, it seemed lame to be on the right side of the law. It seemed lame to be a productive citizen. It seemed like women don't want you if you're not on the right path. And if you get an education or you stand out the way, you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't fornicate like that, or you got moral value, whatever. You got great values, whatever. But it's the thing that people can't tell, that they don't tell you, that they go against all that and they sell their soul and they rob and they can't sleep at night. I had a homie that used to hit licks hit licks on a consistent basis. And I'll tell you a story in a minute. He used to hit licks on a consistent basis, bro. This dude be fighting in his sleep. He would tell me he be fighting in his sleep and he can't punch back, like he in sleep paralysis and he fighting in his sleep. I'm telling y'all, the people that rob, steal, sell dope, you think them killers don't have a conscience, man? Come on. I remember one night we went out, bro. It was we went to St. Andrews and we just chose. Usually we go out in a group for whatever reason. Niggas might have been working, whatever. So we went like, shit, let's shoot to St. Andrews or whatever. So we went down there. I drove. So crazy night. So we in there having a good time, whatever. So this girl walk in there. It's a real story. This girl walking there. So I guess she was mad. She knew the bouncers. They ain't charge her. They get to arguing. Like, you go to St. Andrews, you can go. I never been to the top floor. I've been there but a handful of times. This over 10, 15 years ago. He go to the top floor, make it rain on her head. They get to arguing. So we left after a while. We left. She left after he made it rain on her. So we walking back, right? So I forget what the name of these clubs. They change. But I think it's right there by that, like, it's like right by, what's the street? I don't know if y'all from Detroit. It's the street behind, like when you come off the Lodge on downtown Detroit, you come from under like where the TCF Bank Center, aka Cobo, St. Joe Louis should be at. That I forget what that Jefferson. You come off Jefferson. It's a street behind Jefferson going to, if you coming from the west side, the left. I forget the name of that club. So we going through there. We walking. So he tried to snatch somebody car keys. I didn't know what he's about to do, man. About 15 niggas jumped out of nowhere about to jump us. I was like, man, never again where I go out with this dude, bro. Never again, bro. Like, I was good. But them niggas sleep with a lot on their mind, bro. They sleep with a lot on their mind. So you being and I ain't saying that you being a productive citizen, it can't happen like a random act, but less likely you're not gonna get targeted. You get to go to your nice little condo, your house, your apartment. You can sleep with your head. You can go to sleep with your eyes closed. Whether then, if you rob somebody, you know, they coming for you. You don't know when, here. You got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to have, you know, peace of mind. You can't buy it, bro. Can't buy a peace of mind. This nigga down here sleep, snoring and shit. So where we at with it? One of the bloggers responded to somebody in my comment earlier on, just as I said, DB3. Yeah, that's a long way from happening between them. But there's a lot of title holders in boxing, but only a few real champions will reign after winning titles. Yup. And then you can't even get 5 title defenses. No, because they only fight once a year. He wasn't robbed worse than Goucher and Garcia. Oh man, they robbed the shit out of that, my boy, man. And I watched that fight, Cold Jimmy. Well, you got to change that name, Cold Jimmy, man. Hope your Jimmy John ain't cold, brother. But yeah, I turned that fight on by mistake. I was watching the NCAA game. And I really wasn't even like, I was just watching the game. I did like a little bracket pool. So I was watching the game for fun. I'm chilling. And nigga Tom hit me up. Hey CJ, man, what time do the game Couché fight? So I'm like, shit, let me see. They was fighting. So I started watching from there. And man, he was beating the hell out of Elijah Garcia, beating him like he stole something. He beating Elijah Garcia like he stole something. You know? Beating like he stole something. I was surprised when I heard that second scorecard that gave him the majority decision. Goucher thought he won. I thought he won. He didn't. Angel, what's going on, bro? He said, Samson said, we not going to fight in Saudi. So what the F was the purpose of flying 30 hours and back for a free flight? We not going to fight in Saudi. Like, man, David Benavidez ain't shit neither. Arthur better be and be the best at light heavyweight. You want to be the best, you have to get to fight the best. Getting email titles and parading it around don't make you a real champ. He ain't never been a real champ, so he ain't never had no problem with that. He been a paper champion his whole career. He said CJ watched some of Charles Conwell fight. That man's real power, real good. Yeah, Boots. I heard Boots beat the hell out of that nigga in sparring. First time they sparred, man, Boots put hands, foot, toes, and elbows and knees on his ass. Second time they said Conwell did a lot better, but it's sparring. You know, but it's sparring. I know about Conwell. He from Detroit, but I think he fighting out of Cleveland. So they IKEA furniture. It was programmed out of them. Yeah, it was. Listening to a whole bunch of white suits who don't know nothing. That's how hip hop got destroyed. Listening to a whole bunch of white folks who didn't know nothing. Still got to do that till this day in Saudi. Man, I don't want to see. If you're talking about AJ and Wilder, now I'm good. Both them hoes can retire. These want to be ballers overnight, and it don't work that way. You know, the average man don't hit his highest earning potential into his late 50s, bro. You know, and they got this narrative that black women make more than black men. Go check out my Free Game 89 channel. Check out the community tab. We debunked that. That's a fact. Like when women are making so much more money than me, that's bullshit. What the average woman in her 50s make, man, a lot of y'all shit doubling that. You got to understand most your 50s, your mid to late, that's when you get your most earning potential. So they be lying about how much these people they be making. Japan importing black men. Now, y'all heard that a lot of black dudes was trying to go over there and get their roll on. But, you know, a lot of they women, it's hard. A lot of Asian women be stern, but they look at their men as weak too. But when they be with black guys, they feel softer. They be, and the whole thing about that is size. You know, and I was going to talk about that. I probably ain't going to ever remember to talk about it on the other channel, Free Game at 9. You got to think about how black women are not desired around the country, right? Think about it for a minute, around the world, because they're usually bigger, just naturally bigger than the average man, right? But for black men, another one of the reasons why they're more in demand, because we're bigger than other cultures, and women, they like bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? They like taller, they like thicker, they like stronger. You know, just the appearance of you being bigger in their mind gives you that you could defend and you're powerful. That's not always the case. So that's one of the things that work against black women, because they're naturally genetically more, even to go to the continent, they're genetically bigger than a lot of the average guys that you meet around the world, whether it's, you know, Pakistan, you know, you go to, you know, Thailand, China. But when we go there, women love our height, they love our size, they love our hands, they love everything. That turns them on. So that's one of the reasons why that we're more in demand than they are. Women love, you know, bigger guys. So it's one of the reasons why you can get a passport and get chosen. And a lot of those women, they know how to be wives. Even though it's all a finesse to get your resources, who can finesse you the best? Why put up with a woman that ain't doing nothing for you in America? She ain't doing nothing for you. Why put up with that? When if I'm gonna be spending my money, I go with Ling Ling or go abroad, and she do everything. But also a lot of it goes to say a lot of dudes, just to master the science of it, they don't like women who like them. That's a problem. And if the women that like you, you're not attracted to them, and that's always the case, then that's the you problem. You need to fix something about you. And they got mad on Free Game 89. I did a short and I talked about how men who walk around without no hair, who walk around without their hair lined up, just you know, it's like, ugh. Well, I ain't lining my hair up. And yeah, nigga, I just said, I said in the video, if you know your hair is thinning, or I get that, but like, what's the point of having a haircut without the line up? You look dorkish. And I guarantee you the majority of women do agree with me. You look dorkish if you don't have your hair lined up. So what's the point? If you can't line your hair up because your hairline receding, just cut that shit off, my nigga. You look weird. You look dorkish. Like a nigga walk around with his haircut with his hair never lined up. You hear people like, I kind of agree with what the women be saying some of the times. Some OT talking, I'll finish the comments up, about like niggas being cheap. How can you be cheap and be like, well, I don't want to pay a $50 haircut? If you get your hair cut twice a month, that's $100. Most women is spending $100 on their nails, and that's across the board. And that's just hands. We ain't getting into the hair. We ain't getting into none of that. Like, if you ain't got $50 to get your hair cut at least once a month, and you gotta cut, you that cheap where you gotta cut your hair, and then you're not good at cutting your hair. You keep cutting and you just, like, come on, man. Let's keep it funky. You come on. The lineup is what make the cut. Let's keep it real. Like, if you got to the point where your hairline's so receding that you can't line it up, cut it. Putin and Zelensky. Zelensky is a weirdo from what I hear. Reason why Putin won his land back is he started introducing all these weirdo, these liberal things. That's why France got mad in America. You're trying to say, I don't care nothing about that, serving them up. This liberal shit. Most people knew what Putin stood for real. Most people stand with Putin. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. The winners write the history books. Facts. They rewrite them all the time. Look at that movie Gods of Egypt. Palladians. He said the infamous guy whose name started with the H wasn't even that bad, bro. No. That's why you got to do your history. Anytime they vilify somebody to that reason, I just want to know why. Well, he just wanted these people did. Okay, why? Come on. Iraqi Christians was with Saddam Ali running around Detroit. Yep, and a lot of them Middle Eastern people, they come to Detroit all the time. They got a whole Arab TV network downtown Dearborn. Yeah, real talk. So if you're willing to sell your integrity, your ass is soon to follow. I mean, it's one and the same. That's facts. Except Fidel Castro. Yeah, a lot of them niggas don't like him in Cuba. My boy just came back from Cuba. He said gotta be true. Left Iraq to Iraq. I mean, the mustache man was right about the small hat tribe. Promote degeneracy, feminism, destroy religion, make usury and compound interest legal. Yup. They seeing things that's coming to fruition right now. They ain't gonna be happy to people kick down that religious that law barrier. That's the only thing left. This generation don't believe in God no more. The atheists, some people that don't want to be labeled an atheist, they kind of try to like change it to like, oh, I believe in a spiritual, I believe in a higher power. That's how they try to change it. Trey Finesse, salute. Ricky 245, Mr. T, salute. One of the best investments is your, yeah. If you ain't healthy, I mean, how can you make money? How can you enjoy the fruits of your labor? But that's all I pretty much had, man. I spent a little bit longer than I was supposed to. Appreciate the love and support. If I remember, I put this on the podcast, and I'm about to update the Patreon. So, Free Game 89, go join it. Hit the link in the description. Follow me everywhere. Peace.